otherwise you are not a member of that community. So there are people now that are buying a whole transformer for their community. There are people who built classroom in the name of their CDA.
But looking at it from that perspective,
yes,
Nigeria as a whole now,
yes,
we have a government that has been elected
yes,
at the federal, state, and local government
yes,
level, and it is expected that these people are supposed to provide the needs of the people.
Of course.
So why must a community now come together again? It's okay, we are buying a transformer because we have a faulty one. Why must we grade our road when most 90% of these people also are employees of the government?
Yes.
They pay their tax,
yes,
and some other forms of revenue that
yes,
being generated from them.
Yes.
So why must they have such thing again?
I said before, there are so many things government needs to do. They cannot reach everybody at the same time. What you want done by government now in your own community is different from what he wants done in his own community. And if you approach government, we want this, they can never tell you we won't do it. They say yes, yes, we are planning, it's in the pipeline. But you can wait for eternity. It is those things that you want done by government that government cannot do immediately that we usually attend to for our own benefit. After all, the governor will not come to your own community to come and use your electricity. If the gutter, if the culvert is broken, the governor may not likely pass that place in the next 2-3 years, but you are using your own car to traverse that place every morning. So you need to do these things. It is not that the government is not shirking in their responsibility to be truthful, but in many cases there are certain lapses. But what do you want to do? You are living your life. If you want to wait until government does everything, probably you will not enjoy anything till you pass on. So that is why we need to do it. We need to do it on our own. And usually government recognizes it. For instance, 50 million has been released on the 15th, has been approved for release on the 15th of this month. That 50 million will be dispensed to individual CDAs that have done worthwhile projects as encouragement. The money may not be much. They may spend 500,000. Government may give them 100,000 or even 50,000. But they will be happy that government knew what they ought to do is what they have done. And so they are compensating you. It will be encouragement for more activities. You can see how happy people are when they finish a project and they are commissioning it. They are ready to even spend more money entertaining themselves to show that yes, we have done it.
Okay, if you are to make a comparison,
yes,
you have been to the US once,
yes,
and you came back to Nigeria.
Yes.
So make a comparison between the two countries.
Yes.
Will you say Nigeria is moving in the right direction towards growth?
Yes.
Knowing fully well that I know what is obtainable over there.
Yes.
Do we have similar thing?
Well, when I was in US between 71 and 77, this same type of things goes on, and government do recognize them. They don't usually wait for government for everything. They will let their aldermen, they call them, the politicians, the councillors, know what they needed. The government will try to do it, but they may not be able to do it to time. And people will come together, let's do these things. So it is not a strange thing. And it is now catching on. I can tell you that with 6,732 CDAs in this state, a lot of things are going on that may not be discernible to average individual. And that is why we are calling on all of you, come and join your CDA. If there is none in your own area, you can form one. It doesn't take much. And you don't have to tax yourself unnecessarily. Whatever you can do at a particular time that will not tax your purse too much is what you should embark upon. You can never look at your community and say, we are perfect. Even those who are living in government estates, they are even doing more. than those of us who are living in ordinary townships, because they are driving towards perfection. We cannot be in utopia, but at the same time we can try. So,
if you are just joining us on Hot Seat this day, we have as guest the chairman of the Ogun State Council of the Community Development Council, Chief Isaiah Olatokunbo Akinsonwon JP, who says that government alone cannot provide for everything. All the needs cannot be provided for by the government. Everyone is indeed encouraged to ensure that we join community development associations in our various neighborhoods so that we can join forces with the government and make sure that the needs of the community are provided as much as we can. The government, it says, is in recognition of the fact that people are joining hands with them to be able to turn the fortunes of the various communities in their society for better. But much more is required of each and every person who lives in a particular community. No matter what, each person resides in a community, and so you have a responsibility to be partakers of the growth process of your respective communities. Hot Seat continues. Chief Akinsonwon, I want to ask you of this. What is the limit of the powers of community development associations? I ask this question against the backdrop of the fact that oftentimes the community will have decided that this culvert is bad. Almost everybody passes through that road day and night. We need to make contributions. Some households will decide not to be part of it.
yes,
Monthly meetings will be called.
they will not
Households
attend.
will not attend.
Yes.
Do community development associations have powers to enforce?
We have powers to encourage, not to enforce. You continue to plead with them. They will come around. You see, one stanza of our anthem says, "Kafi ko won, kon sapa won." We want to teach them. We don't want to force them. This is a free society, you know. Even though there's a legislation coming up that will still empower us a little bit more, but not to coax anybody.
Have you been greeted with instances of obvious disagreements between
direct antagonism?
In fact, I must tell you that
Yes.
between these seemingly recalcitrant individuals and those who are belonging to the process,
before you count 3-4 CDAs, you will find at least one person like that. So it is common, quite common. But you see, persuasion is more powerful than force. And when they see that you are doing these things and you are not antagonistic to them, they will come around. They may eventually do more than you expected. That is the issue. People, they will say, only run on. That's what they usually will say. But eventually they will come around. Even some will come to apologize profusely. I didn't know. I didn't know. Can you imagine a person, an elderly person, who gave a whole plots of land to a community to build a school free of charge in a place where a plot of land is more than 4 million naira, and this man is, by all standards, is not wealthy. He was given an award at the award night. He gave land for a hospital, gave land for school, gave land for market, just because he went to that place in Mowe Ibafo area. He was there very early. He bought the land, big expensive land, and he's ready to give it out. He's an elderly man.
How many of his type would you say we have?
There are
within
so
the movement?
many. There are
so many of them.
So many
that give on their own free will.
That is why every year we are going to highlight these people. Every year we are going to highlight them. Those people who will do things free of charge, who will bring their wherewithal to bear on the community.
Now, as we have those who are doing that,
yes,
we also cannot throw away the possibility of some individuals being overbearing, unduly overbearing on their various communities. Yes. Instances also abound. You are also possibly to have been greeted with so many cases of such. How do you manage it at your level?
We manage them. I'll give you an example in my own local government. Somebody who started well by encouraging the community. Before we know it, he went to register the CDA and the CAC and made himself the perpetual, what do you call them in the company setup? Then he set up a board of trustees, and he made himself the chairman. And a life chairman, and he wanted to be fleecing the people. We can't allow that. The government will not allow it. He has used so many things. In fact, he used police against these people, and of course, even they are in court now.
Is it that powerful that he was able to also bring the police in?
It is the system. But the policemen are now getting wiser. You know, our patron, the current commissioner of police is our patron now. We give him patronship, and we have access to him, so that we can explain to him what is going on.
Just before I return you to Tunde, a while ago you were saying that the CDAs do not have the powers to enforce. You can rather encourage.
Yes.
But there are instances of the activities of some residents of a particular community, for instance, constituting heavy nuisance, if not risks, to the lives of those other people in that same community.
In what way?
For instance, we could have situations of a building where the means of livelihood of one or two of the occupants of such a building may not be readily guaranteed in terms of being in tandem with the laws. We could have situations where animal rearings, dangerous animal rearing situations could also threaten the lives of the younger ones in the community. In such instance, how does the Community Development Association address it?
If there was no CDA, those things can be settled either. In other words, if you have a very violent dog in your house that is threatening the children, the policemen are there. It doesn't mean whether you are a member of the CDA or not. If you are constituting a nuisance, let's say environmental nuisance, you have the health officers there. That should not cause any problem at all. The CDA can talk to you, but you may refuse to abide by them. Then they will use the law, the existing law. I remember somebody who said he will not contribute to this vigilante
security
fund. And they pleaded with him. It is in my hometown. So he didn't want to, and they felt he's cheating them. They reported to the DO at that time, and the DO was very wise. And you know how people are afraid of police. So the DO sent for him. When he came to the police and said, "Sit down. They say you did not contribute to vigilante. How can I? Me ninkoko. Kimoni, iku wole ahorobansa." So they said, "Okay, sit down, sit down." The man sat down there for the whole day. He was not put behind the counter. He was not sold. So he said, when it was around 7 o'clock, he said, "Ah, you are here. Please come back tomorrow morning, early in the morning." He went there dutifully. The officer let him sit down there for the whole day again. In the evening, say, "You will have to come back to him." He said, "Please, what do you want me to do?"
Okay, so that will lead me to this next question. There has been this clamor, particularly in the southwestern part of Nigeria, that there should be state police, because a lot of administrators there believe that the federal police they are not doing enough to secure lives and property. And apart from that, again, I don't know how much or what is the details of the powers of CDAs, whether it's also covers the area of security within the neighborhood and the rest. But you see most CDAs these days that they do employ the services of bodyguards or even vigilantes, groups that have that make use of arms and ammunition and the rest of that. So those who think possibly you may want to shift to my side, and that government, one way or the other, has not been able to provide for the needs of the citizenry. That is why the CDAs are filling the gap.
Well, I will tell you that the security situation in the country is not the best. It could be improved upon. Yes, I am one of those who felt maybe if we have a state police, it will be better. But you see, every opportunity can be abused in Nigeria. The federal police is there. The state police can also do a good job, but they can be worse. So it is still a raging debate. I don't think we can say there's a hard and fast rule. If you are very close to your police in your community and they know you will not take nonsense, they will do a good job. I can tell you that much. But there is a lot of intricacies in the law when it comes to security matters. And it is inbuilt because of our own security too. So, after the arguments, what is going on in Abuja now, well, we hope there will be some modifications, if not outright shift to state police. In other words, if the governor of a state has more direct control on the head of the police, maybe it will be better. But I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. It is we, the community, that can make the police be better. I tell you, if you are insistent, policemen, they are very, very careful these days. They know about our rights. They know we are now knowing about our rights, and they are ready to cooperate with you. So long as you have clear mind, you have no mischievous things to do, then there's nothing much to worry about. So
does the power of CDA extend to the level of having to employ security operatives?
Yes, we can employ security operatives, but they must work in tandem with the policemen. If you have vigilante in your area, they must be known to the police there. Not only just know, they will have ID card, and their head, when they are going on patrol, they must come and inform the police. We are in this area. So if anything happens, even sometimes a good officer, if he has enough manpower, will send one or two of his men to follow them on patrol at night. Especially where there has been several attacks or burglaries and so on and so forth. They do cooperate. So I don't think I have ever met a police officer, well, maybe there was one, I won't mention that here, that will say, well, armed robbers should be roaming around freely. No, they cannot say that. So that is the issue. You need to cooperate with them. You cannot set up a vigilante group and say, well, we are the Lord. The policeman is